want that extra dash.
Final pick will be that Rek'Sai locked in instantly by BrokenBlade. Not going to be, or it's about the same size as the foot. Never mind. Quad. Let's see what the gravity field is going to work. The Arcane Storm doing a fair bit at the same time, but the Seismic Shove also lands. Death Ray comes in, the flash, and First Blood is a cap solo kill that's immediately answered here as Busio pushes him back underneath the turret. But man, we had no action, and then a solo kill.
As well as Spellbook. He's still going to have some mobility. He might need it.
Yeah, he is ghosting, so that's going to move him pretty quickly, but let's just get into position here. Twisted Advance does come on down, but it's SkewMond that does get pulverized. Another brilliant flick from Quad to pull SkewMond back, and in the meantime, Caps, oh, that flash is gone, and Inspired will take him out because of it. Now Quad looking for that angle once again, and they have corralled them underneath this turret.
Rek'Sai so obnoxious to lock down as Labrov throws the ultimate mids.
Yeah, Tempered Fate comes on down there as Hansama gets on in. Didn't quite have the snap trap, and he just flashes over the Seismic Shove, and we'll be able to get the last hit onto Quad.
1K over Massu.
And last time, Vedius, I was like, oh yeah, you know, Quad, he just took his death, and it was good, you know, because Caps flashed and Quad didn't. But that one, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah, got a bit of a flash forward here from Bwipo, who's going all out onto Caps, has Inspired alongside him, and down goes the victor once again. Because there hasn't been much of a battlefield so far. There's 5 kills all up, but it's a lot of posturing as Labrov able to walk out of the way of the wall. Seismic Shove does go wide as Hansama not quite able to get the net for the slow, but otherwise is able to get out of dodge. Still, Summoner Spell's now on cooldown, and that flash being down for the Caitlyn is a big deal as Labrov in the back of this pit just get flicked back, and I thought he was just going to magical journey out, but he doesn't. He's not quite there yet, but still, G2 have so much control of this area. Nature's Grasp for holding on to control as well is so incredibly good. Hex Flash going to get channeled here as Busio looking for an angle towards Caps, perhaps, as he gets taken down so incredibly low. Unbreakable Will comes in, and now you've got Bwipo trying to make the difference, but Tempered Fate to hold them in position. Hansama in so much trouble, and he does get taken down. Inspired to grab First Blood in the fight. Busio is going to be the answering kill, and BrokenBlade takes down Busio as well. It's FlyQuest that can actually answer back as Caps trying to do some of the damage, but doesn't quite manage to do so. Yeah, there is a ward still here, though, for G2, so they know the size of this health bar. As you can see, Bwipo just trying to stand in front of them.
He's
to
far.
Keep them out of this one, as my goodness, he's so incredibly tanky at the same time. Is G2 going to have to deal with him first? The wall goes down just to try and keep him alive. There's a Pulverize as well as BrokenBlade gets himself out of there. Now the Nature's Grasp does fly past, but the Otacon will just turn its sights onto G2 this time, down to about 4K as FlyQuest possibly out of this. There's a flash forward from Busio, but I don't know about it. The flick back, though, is gorgeous, and SkewMond put in position, but unable to get the smite. That one's going to go to Inspired. As the gravity field goes down, the Arcane Storm doing nothing. Massu going to take down Caps, who cannot get it done. Now BrokenBlade buying some space. They only lose one, but Otacon, such a big deal.
It's going to be a lot scarier for them. They need to leverage the advantage that they have right now.
Well, this could be certainly leveraged as Caps walks a little bit too far away from his turret and will just be taken out by Busio.
For G2's credit, it is hard to push on these Caitlyn trap lines, but never mind.
Flash is going forward here as the wall comes down, and Hansama just blows up. The inner turret is going to go down, and SkewMond is running the wrong direction. Bit of a jungle v jungle here as he gets the Teemo thumbs up. I don't think SkewMond's going to feel okay about it. Nimbus Strike comes forward. Inspired finishes him off, and I think this is the end of the game as FlyQuest will slowly but surely, methodically tear G2 apart here in game 1. Busio going forward one more time. The Tempered Fate comes down for a bit of fun as the Nexus turrets, one already down, the second one to follow. Massu right in their face. The Arcane Storm not doing too much of anything, and the Nexus will now go down. Trading places here is Massu and BrokenBlade, but down goes the Nexus, and it's FlyQuest up 1-0. It certainly feels like G2 got exactly what they wanted, and this Soraka is confusing me, but I like it.
So, FlyQuest do not opt into fights if they don't have strong conditions ready.
SkewMond has snuck in here.
Yeah, you don't get to opt into all the fights, though. Sometimes the fights come to you.
Oh, this happening as Labrov makes his way over. They're looking for the dive. Knockup does come on through as Busio gets the wish out, but there is First Blood going over to the Trundle here at 13 minutes. The culling to soften them up, but Massu might even be in trouble himself. Busio here in mid lane for now. Looks like Fly do want to fight for it, but Bwipo's also in trouble. Equalizer goes down, flashes away, and just gets chomped down by SkewMond. That's 2-0 for the Troll.
Bottom side, Vedius. Then he makes a gank on top side and a repeat gank as well.
Yeah, makes another gank towards his top side. Good flash out there as the Wish comes through as well, but it's not going to work. Well, Rift Herald is just immediately going to be put down here in this mid lane. That could be first turret. Going on over to FlyQuest.
Pillar.
Yeah, let's see whether it is going to come through, and there it is. SkewMond able to lock that one down as we have the ulti from Caps towards the top side. Bwipo in trouble, but he's just kept alive by the ambulance. And now Quad, an awkward position for him as well, as Caps finds some damage there. Into the backline goes BrokenBlade. They're kind of taking it in turns to annoy FlyQuest, and it's working very nicely as G2 keeping these health bars pretty up there. And FlyQuest starting to look a little worse for wear. Caps taking some damage. The Witch comes down yet again. The Equalizer not quite doing that much as Inspired goes in. Looking for Labrov, but he gets himself out. The Crescent Guard comes through as well as BrokenBlade comes down from the heavens. Inspired's just looking unkillable on this Xin Zhao, but G2 just won't go down. Some whoopsies left and right, but it does feel like FlyQuest got the better of that last moment and do get the Otacon for it as we have another engage to come through. G2 may have found Inspired yet again, but this is how the last fight started. Quad comes on over and just drops a bear on them. The Galio will be the answer. The knock-up, he's still alive, but SkewMond will finally get the chomp. And down goes the Xin Zhao eventually. Man, that took everything.
Pings there. They did kind of expect.
Oh, SkewMond is just going to get flashed on here, tries to flash the wall, misses. And now you've got the Featherstorm needing to be employed. Another.
That it did result in this Trundle being really hard to take down now. And Trundle kind of thrives in these scrappy fights.
Well, he's going to have to try and book it over here. It is BrokenBlade with a lot of CC, keeping Bwipo busy. Equalizer goes down. The Wish comes in, but he just dies before FlyQuest could get in there. Still, they're going to look for the fight, though. Crescent Guard comes down. Labrov just explodes in an instant as the taunt is fantastic. The flash out from Inspire, but he still dies. Not enough in the tank here for Busio. And G2 finding the advantage here. Redemption comes down. They've got healing of their own.
With Annie around, they might try and contest this still. Massu in the area. Let's see what Pokey can get down.
It is a pretty early Baron, but it's going down very, very quickly. A teleport is available here as soon as this Rumble does spawn, and he's teleporting in now, but the Baron is going to go down. Quad immediately explodes as Bwipo cannot get anything done. Flash over the wall there from Busio as Bwipo decides he wants to go aggressive. I'm not sure about that one, but Massu tries to get the kill onto SkewMond, and it doesn't quite work. All of these Barons still up and available, and the Justice Punch to bring BrokenBlade forward. He will find his mark as Busio's still alive and getting this healing down, but the problem is they're not doing enough damage to G2, and they're just going to back up. The culling is working as intended, but unfortunately, it's just a little too late.
The Soraka healing is just way too monstrous. It feels like G2 find a pick, but then can't convert it into a kill.
Open. They've got Baron buff. They got a bunch of extra kills off it too.
Okay, well, we're looking for a bit more of a fight here as the heroic entrance comes down. Quad takes a large chunk. FlyQuest still in it, though, as we can see. Massu is going so aggressive. I don't know whether it's a good idea, as there is the ulti out from Caps to get so much AoE damage, but Massu still alive. The ambulance is working, but SkewMond finally gets the jump down. And there goes the AD carry. G2 are a freight train. They'll break the inner turret, and they'll probably get more because they've got Baron, and they're looking at a game number 3.
G2 will finally get a bit of revenge against FlyQuest as they finally get a big
The Rebel Baron power play putting them at about 8.7k in the lead. And FlyQuest trying to get back out onto the map. You can see Inspired just wanting to keep this fight going, but Between Worlds comes out from Caps, and he's now on a rampage against Quad. And Massu feels like he just came out of the death chamber, but immediately they're looking to try and put him back in there as this siege, Baron or no Baron, G2 will be able to take down another inhibitor turret. And with Infernal Soul, I think they'll have the damage to burst down FlyQuest now. The culling comes through, but SkewMond says what? As he just takes most of it. Equalizer in as well as they look for Bwipo, but he does go gold, and the quickness comes on through. The charm is fantastic. They try and keep him alive, but it does not work. It's a bit of a trade, though, as this Rakan is going to be taken down, but man, these wallets, they are so heavy from G2. First Nexus turret to be taken down. Massu going to be next to be taken on this fountain, and G2 showing them that even though they did get swept at MSI, Hero World's going to be a different story.
because there's no vision on the bot side, so BrokenBlade in a lot of danger.
Yeah, looking a little bit dicey here as the counter-strike comes in. The flash W is going to connect as the Grandmaster's might is not mighty enough, and first blood.
And that's just, it's so problematic. BrokenBlade, meanwhile, as you can see on screen, they're going for the 2v1.
Yeah, Bwipo, this is going to be a difficult one to deal with, especially with Labrov turning up that flash. As we've got a bit of a problem for Caps as the depth charge comes through, flash comes down, but the answering anchor is fantastic. Busio will be traded though, gorgeously played.
Exactly, it took him a while to get there, but he did in fact get there.
Yep, teleport is available here from BrokenBlade, so it can be a 5v5. As there's the anchor connecting, Glacial Prison goes down as well. Decent chain CC as the shockwave is decent as well. It's massive damage, but it's G2 coming out on top.
Through that double front line there.
Oh dear, Caps might be in a little bit of trouble as the curtains have been called. The last shot comes through and Massu will be able to nail it, evening out the kills. Still, that last play putting G2 back into touching distance once more.
I mean, FlyQuest don't waste any time. They get back out on the map, they find a big pick, and now SkewMond sets his sights on bot.
Yeah, Quad actually greeting a little bit to make sure that he gets this turret, and Emperor's Divide comes down, but there's a spell shield, and SkewMond says what? And once again, it is going to be Quad going down. Bwipo going to be stopped as well. That back not going to come through. We'll see whether they can get a dent onto this turret, and with the Rift Herald, they will be able to.
Yeah, G2, they have to respect.
Oh no, another one, and this time the Magnus Storm comes in. Bwipo has to flash, gets himself out of there. Shelly gets a headache, and will be able to take this one down. SkewMond stands in front of the hook, and Busio has to cleanse, gets himself out of the way. Oh, the Emperor's Divide moves SkewMond away from him, still able to get the kill, but now the curtains have been called. First bullet, second bullet, third going to miss, the fourth one lands, but it's eaten by Labrov, and he's going to be just fine. G2 limp away.
A crazy back and forth as Massu secures a kill. 6-6, the scoreline at the top of our screens.
A dangerous place to fight as Bwipo in this tribe rush, but G2 with control of the area.
Not enough time because we're starting off the Arakan. G2 is just forcing this one.
Yeah, FlyQuest do have vision. They know what's going on, but it is burning down so incredibly quickly. Mundu is very, very good at doing a lot of extra damage to these as Busio not going to quite hit the anchor. As can they get the steal? The answer's no. Bwipo taking a fair bit of damage as BrokenBlade is now so dangerous, but Bwipo still able to get that work done with this dominance, but it's in fact the redemption that helps out. And down goes Quad as well, and it looks like FlyQuest not quite making this one happen as G2 just move forward. Mundu is indeed doing exactly what he pleases as that cleanse, that ain't gonna help you, buddy, as SkewMond does have a lot of paperwork to do, and he's in the way.
He was walking all the way from base, but let's get back to live.
Yeah, we got another battle here as BrokenBlade will find another counter-strike. It only hits onto one, but it's so difficult to kill this. Jax, he just dives on top of Massu. I think he's gone too far, though. Does get the redemption, and what the heck is this? Jax still gets shut down. For a little bit of an angle, but no full commitment onto any of these fights. SkewMond just standing in that front line. There's the flash forward, and where did he go? Massu just explodes thanks to the shockwave, and now an exhausted Quad is just gonna fly his way out.
Yeah, nice arrow from Hans right at the beginning too. Everything hitting at once. Massu down, and G2 are primed to make it into quarterfinals, and they're doing it with SkewMond on his Mundo. Well, the rest of the team here going at Busio again.
Yeah, looking for a bit of an angle there, but Leap Strike does get BrokenBlade over the wall. They will be okay as Nevermind, Inspired, looking for an angle. Deadly Flourish comes down, another curtain call to come in here as SkewMond flashes himself away. Busio's dead once again, though. The last bullet not quite enough, but Quad does have the follow-up damage. It's a trade of supports. For now, the flash forward from Inspired. He thinks he's found the angles. Bwipo just flashes on top. Hans is going to fall down for the first time in this game, and now this Crocodile is doing what he wants instead of the Mondo as they escort G2 out of the river. Like, do you see that damage just from one soldier auto attack onto SkewMond?
Oh yeah.
He's built, 3 items already, but still this Azir is doing so much work.
This game could still very much go either way. The Baron has bought a lot of time for FlyQuest. The hook.
Yeah, hook to come on through there as Busio starts off the fight. Glacial Prison is good as well to hold down this front line. The last bullet this time is not going to land as we have fights on multiple fronts. The counter-strike to interrupt the teleporters. Labrov will be able to get himself to relative safety. Now it's G2 trying to turn this one around because Bwipo is so much of what allows FlyQuest to win these fights, and he was denied. And G2 now with the upper hand as BrokenBlade wanting to sneak in once again. Bwipo slices to get out of there, and Quad has to get out as well. Busio starting off the fight, gets the double knockup, but SkewMond is so tanky. Not tanky enough this is just going front to back. As now BrokenBlade with the counter-strike is going to be able to help take down Bwipo. The hook is going to not land, but the Magnet Storm is gorgeous. Not enough to do all the damage, and Busio somehow got in there, but look at the Emperor's Divide. Down goes BrokenBlade, the curtain call as well to slow down Labrov. G2 still with some players alive, but these health bars are so low, and FlyQuest come out on top.
And SkewMond goes
Just from Quad as we're right into another team fight as now Bwipo having to use that Q to try and get his health bar back, but Hans Summer's just going to shut him down. The Deadly Flourish as well is trying to work out, but BrokenBlade stays alive. The Emperor's Divide is gigantic, and Baby will go down. The Azir is taken as well, and G2 straight out of the replay, straight putting FlyQuest into the death chamber.
Caps goes on a rampage. He finds such a huge shockwave with the help of Labrov. G2 may well have done it. There's only Inspired left to try and defend the base, but after 3 long years, I think Europe is back at the quarterfinals.
It was looking like it was going to happen again. It was going to look like North America could deny them one more time, but it's the top 8 in the eyes of G2 as they look to take down these Nexus turrets. The Nexus, the next to go down, and the Baron curse for North America is their bane, and G2 say thank you very much.